Hello friends, good afternoon. Welcome to Chandu Biology Classes. So here we are to discuss the topmost 40 important topics for APPSC TGPSC JLDL exam. So far we have completed polity. Some important topics are also there that we will cover, not a problem. And when it comes to aptitude, we have covered number system, most important topic. Okay. And when it comes to reasoning, we have done seating arrangement, order ranking and comparison, direction and distance. One more topic, that is syllogism and also puzzles have to be done, that will be dealt parallelly, nothing to worry, it will be done before your exam. Today we are starting with modern history. Most important concepts or most important topics will be discussed when it comes to modern history, from where the questions have already come in your examination. By analysis of previous year paper, I have taken these certain topics which are very important for your examination, from where questions have definitely come, and from where questions we can expect, and definitely it will come from these topics. Alright, so let us start our journey on modern Indian history. So when it comes to modern history, we have to start with, when it comes to APPSC and TGPSC, the questions on modern history are more factual that they are asking, okay, not the analytical base. So when it comes to modern history, let us start with governor generals and viceroys, and then we will start with social religious reforms or cultural reforms, and then we have to do 1857 revolt, and then constitutional developments under British rule, that is under company's rule, then under the crown. After that we have to go for the freedom struggle, but before going to freedom struggle we have to learn the precursors to freedom struggle, that is the Indian National Congress, its formation, okay, who were the first governors, all these things. And then we have to study the freedom movement, that is the first phase, that is up to Swadeshi and all this, next second phase and third phase, the Gandhian era, and also the pre-independence, that is 1930 or 1935 onwards. All these things we have to study. This will be the chronology. Okay, chronology is very important when it comes to history. Clear? So let us start with governor generals and viceroys of India. So when it comes to this topic, first of all we have to start from Bengal. When it comes to governor generals of Bengal, so first of all, what do you mean by governor generals? All these people. Now let us have a look at each one of them. I hope if I am writing in yellow it is visible. I hope if I am writing in yellow it is visible to all of you. So introduction, governor generals of Bengal. So East India Company controlled Bengal through a post called governor general. They are called as what? Governor of Bengal. Earlier they were not called as governor general, they are called governor of Bengal. Okay. Then they started passing various legislation. One of the legislation is Regulating Act of 1773. Through that, what they made, the governor of Bengal was made governor general of Bengal, and other presidencies were there. At that time India had, okay, rough map if I draw like this, see, India had, okay, Madras presidency here, this is Bengal presidency, it includes Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Here we had what? Mumbai presidency. Presidency means that is a unit of governance at that time, you can say the present states. Okay, so they controlled it like this. The Bengal doesn't include only Bengal at that time, it included Orissa, all those places, northeastern India. Mumbai presidency means it included Maharashtra, parts of Karnataka, parts of Goa. Goa is completely included, Gujarat, some parts of Rajasthan also. Madras means Kerala, South Karnataka, and also parts of Andhra Pradesh, all these places, that is Madras presidencies. Okay, and through linguistic bifurcation, all these parts came together and formed the states of, first linguistic state that was formed was Andhra Pradesh, okay, that is in 1953. Like that linguistic states were formed later, okay, Tamil Nadu, like that we formed Maharashtra, all these places. Now that will be a topic which we will talk when we talk about linguistic policies. Now when we talk about Bengal was a very important unit of administration for the British. Okay, they had a very strong hold over Bengal. So whoever controlled Bengal, we can say that they controlled entire India at that time. So when earlier it was called as what? Governor of Bengal. They made it as what? Governor General of Bengal through Regulating Act of 1773. Through that, Governor of Bengal was made Governor General of Bengal. Another post will come, Governor General of India. Don't get confused with that. This is Governor General of Bengal. But before that, we have to know certain facts about Governor of Bengal. Before going to Governor General, we have to know certain facts about Governor of Bengal. That is, first Governor of Bengal is Robert Clive. He is known for dual government, to introduce the concept of dual governance. That is, there was dual government in Bengal, that is administration was one side and revenue collection was done by some other people. Okay, so that is why it is called dual government. Who introduced dual government? It is Robert Clive. You have to remember the name, that is Robert Clive introduced dual government. Okay, next when it comes to Governor of Bengal, first one was Robert Clive. After that there were 4 other members, you have to remember, just remember that by the name H. Okay, Robert Clive, Howell Henry, okay, Howell Henry, Harry and John Cartier. Okay, Howell Henry, okay, first is Robert Clive, you have to remember, next is Howell Henry, Harry. Okay, if you are watching cricket, England cricket team, you have Harry Brook, remember like that, Howell Henry, okay, Howell Henry, Harry and John Cartier, remember John Cena, John Cartier, that's it. So this is how you have to remember Howell, Henry, Harry and John Cartier. These were the other governors of Bengal. Now let us proceed further. So when we talk about Regulating Act of 1773, the post, earlier I told you, the Governor of Bengal was converted into Governor General of Bengal. Okay, why, the reason at all, that is not required for your examination. That kind of analysis they will not ask you. So just remember why is not required, how, what, when, that is required for your examination. So this is first Governor General of Bengal was Warren Hastings. Okay, there will be another one person who will come as Hastings, not Hastings, sorry, it is Hastings. Okay, Warren Hastings. So but it is Warren Hastings, not Warren Buffett, it is Warren Hastings, you have to remember. Who is that? First Governor General of Bengal is Warren Hastings. That is the question they have asked in the examination. First Governor of Bengal is Robert Clive. Governor General is Warren Hastings. So under him, what are the things that he did? Okay, let us see. Warren Hastings 1774 to 1785. Okay, after the Regulating Act of 1773, he became the Governor General of Bengal. Under him, there was another act that was passed 1781, that is Pitt's India Act 1781. So he ended diarchy in Bengal and treasury was shifted to Calcutta. Ended diarchy in Bengal means there was dual rule. Like I told you, there was dual government. Okay, introduced by whom? Everything is connected. Okay, it is like a story actually. That is sequentially you have to understand. Okay, what is that? There was a dual government in Bengal. Administration one side, revenue collection on one side. Okay, that was done by whom? Robert Clive. He ended it and clubbed it together. Who? Warren Hastings. That is the meaning of diarchy. He ended diarchy in Bengal. Treasury was shifted to Calcutta. Treasury was shifted to Calcutta means earlier it was in where it was? Earlier it was in other parts of India, you can think, it was in Delhi, you can think. Okay, treasury was in Delhi, it was shifted to Calcutta. Treasury, I am talking about treasury. Now, company took over revenue collection, that is what I am telling. Administration was done by some other people and revenue collection by some other people. But revenue collection also, now company took over. Okay, till 1857, whatever I am talking with respect to the company, that is East India Company. Okay, advent of Europeans, if I get time I will do it, otherwise you can study by yourself. What is the question that they can ask? Advent of Europeans, they can ask who are the people who came first and where are the first factories that they set up. Okay, and who are the kings that were ruling India when Portuguese entered, when the Dutch entered, when French entered, when English entered. You should know the sequence. Who came first, who next, and who are the kings that were ruling, and which was the first factory or company that they set up. All these things you must have clarity. Next, when it comes to 1774, Supreme Court was established in Calcutta. Supreme Court was established in Calcutta, not the present Supreme Court. Okay, the present Supreme Court came through 1935 Act, that was also called Federal Court at that time. When you study Government of India Act 1935, you would have understood. I have also told you sources of the Indian Constitution. During that I told you how Supreme Court came into being, all these things. Now 1774, that where I am talking about sources of Indian Constitution, please go through Indian Polity playlist. Okay, there you will get it. So 1774 Supreme Court was established in which place? Calcutta. You may get confused. Supreme Court was established, presently it is in Delhi, but actually at that time 1774 it was in Calcutta. By under which act? Under Regulating Act of 1773. Under whose Governor General? That is Governor General of Bengal at that time was Warren Hastings. Like this you have to connect. Then Pitt's India Act was passed 1784. Regulating Acts add certain loopholes. Like every act has some loopholes. Regulating Act also adds certain loopholes. To correct those loopholes, what are the loopholes? That is not required for you. Okay, to correct those loopholes, Pitt's India Act of 1784 was passed. Okay. Now, first Rohilla War, first Maratha War and Treaty of Salbai, second Mysore War was all fought under Warren Hastings. Okay, first is what? Rohilla War. Rohilla and Maratha were first wars. Okay, that was fought under Warren Hastings, but second Anglo, that is second Mysore War. That is second Anglo-Mysore War was fought under Warren Hastings. First was under Robert Clive. Okay, under Robert Clive only first was fought. Second Mysore War was under Warren Hastings. This Treaty of Salbai is very important. Treaty of Salbai is very important, but don't worry about treaties. Separate class will be done where we will be teaching only about treaties. We will be dealing only about treaties. For example, if I talk about Mysore, there is a Treaty of Srirangpatnam. Okay, that is also very important. Like that, Treaty of Wahhabi movement is also there. Like that, what are the treaties that are there? All these treaties will club it into one place. I'll take one class. Okay, so in that Treaty of Salbai is very important. Treaty of Salbai was under whom? Warren Hastings. Okay, Treaty of Salbai was signed by whom? They will give the options: Robert Clive, William Bentinck, like that. The answer is Warren Hastings. Clear? So this is about Warren Hastings. So that is, first thing is ended dual government in Bengal, that is diarchy. Next thing is shifted to Calcutta. With Calcutta, what is another thing that is associated? Supreme Court. He brought up Supreme Court in Calcutta, and ended diarchy means revenue collection was taken over by company itself. Like this, everything is connected. Now, Pitt's India Act was also passed. Why? To advance some features and also to remove some loopholes in regulating act. Next, coming to what were the wars. At that time, the company was wanted to annex lot of territories that are there in India. So they have to usually, obviously they have to fight wars, correct? No. So for that, one was Rohilla War, next is first Maratha War, second Mysore War, and Treaty of Salbai. Through these wars, there will be some what? There will be some, what to say, compensation, or we can say compromise. That compromise itself we call it as treaty. Okay, that is Treaty of Salbai. Next thing, Lord Cornwallis, very important personality, 1786 to 1793. Okay, permanent land settlement was introduced by Lord Cornwallis. When it comes to land administration, after independence, post independence, we have land reforms. At that time, we had something called, three things you have to remember when it comes to land. One is permanent land settlement, Rohitwari system, and also Mahalwari system. Okay, permanent land settlement, that is also called Zamindari system, that is 1786 to 1793 by Lord Cornwallis. Okay, Cornwallis is also famous for Cornwallis Code. There is something called Cornwallis Code also introduced by Lord Cornwallis. Third Mysore War, second was under Warren Hastings, third Mysore was under him. Okay, under that Treaty of Srirangapatnam was signed. Okay, under which Mysore War? Third Mysore War. Okay, second Mysore War was under Warren Hastings. Third Mysore was under whom? Cornwallis. Cornwallis, third Mysore War, and Treaty of Srirangapatnam, and permanent land settlement was introduced by him. Okay, as you can see here in Bengal. Okay, Cornwallis Code and Civil Services was introduced. Okay, Cornwallis Code means it is a code on judicial reforms. Okay, how the judiciary should function, all these things. Cornwallis Code is based on, actually it is for judiciary, and also some code was also for police administration, but mainly it was for judicial reforms. Okay, how the judiciary in India, how the judicial system in India should function. That Cornwallis Code was based on that. Okay, the judicial system was based on Cornwallis Code. Civil Services was introduced. Civil Services was introduced, but for whom? It was not for the Indians. As of now, it is still not introduced for Indians. Okay, Civil Services was introduced, but if they ask father of civil services in India, it is Lord Cornwallis. Okay, they can ask father of civil services in India, it is Lord Cornwallis. Because I am writing this because this has already been asked in various other examination. Please remember this. It is Lord Cornwallis. Next, Sir John Shore, 1783 to 1798. Nothing much happened under him, but 1783 there was some Charter Act and Battle of Karda. Okay, so you can see after regulating act, a series of acts was passed that is called Charter Act. Okay, Charter Act of 1793. Charter Act of 1833, Charter Act of 1853. Okay, so Charter Act was first passed in 1793 under John Shore. Okay, first Charter Act was under him, and Battle of Karda. They can ask, Battle of Karda was fought under whom? You have to remember only this one. See, there are various governors generals, various viceroys, various governors that are there, but only some are very important for us. Others, just you have to just go through it, just glance through it. One is what? Warren Hastings is important, Robert Clive is important, Lord Cornwallis is important, John Shore to some extent. Battle of Karda you have to remember under John Shore. Nothing much is there here. Now, Lord Wellesley, highly important. Lord Wellesley, 1798 to 1805, he introduced very important system of governance or administration, that is to annex the territory of India, that is subsidiary alliance. That is what? Subsidiary alliance. subsidiary alliance. Subsidiary alliance. So what do you mean by that? So what do you mean by subsidiary alliance? See here. Here there is a king, under him there is a kingdom. Okay, what will the British do or the company do? They will provide soldiers. This is called standing army. This is called what? Standing army. Here people will be there. Here people will be there like this. Like this people will be there. This is the what? These are British people. British soldiers will be there. They will be protecting the kingdom. But what the king should do? King should give tax. From the tax you have to give revenue to the company. Revenue to the company. But these people were not just involved in this. They try to involve in the internal administration also. But as per the alliance, they should not involve. But they were getting involved in this also. Administration also. Okay. In the kingdom. Okay, king has to give revenue, all these things. But other kingdoms, there is another king you think. This king cannot interact with another king without the permission of the company. Without the permission of the company. Without the permission of the company, you cannot interact with other king, or you cannot make any treaty with other king. Okay, these are the terms and conditions of what? Terms and conditions of subsidiary alliance. Got it? This is the meaning of subsidiary alliance. Okay, alliance means you can say the cooperation. So, which was the first province that came under subsidiary alliance? That is our Hyderabad. Subsidiary alliance system 1798, first alliance with Nizam of Hyderabad. That is why Hyderabad is called what? Land of Nizams. So, first state or what? First province that came under subsidiary alliance was Hyderabad, and when it comes to under whom? It is Wellesley. It is under Lord Wellesley it came under, and under him 4th Mysore War was fought, that is 1799. Okay, ultimately Tipu Sultan was killed. Okay, Tipu Sultan was killed in 4th Mysore War. 2nd Mysore War was under Hastings. 3rd Mysore War was under Cornwallis. 4th Mysore War was under whom? It was under Lord Wellesley. Okay, next 2nd Maratha War. First Maratha War was under whom? First Maratha War was under Hastings. 2nd Maratha War was under Wellesley. And Treaty was Bassein was signed. Treaty of Bassein very important. Treaty of Salbai, Treaty of Bassein, they are all very important. And also Madras Presidency was formed in 1801. Okay, under Lord Wellesley, Madras Presidency was formed in 1801. First is Bengal, then is Madras, then is Bombay. Okay, not Mumbai, it is Bombay Presidency. It was called, not called as Mumbai. I wrote it wrong. That is not Mumbai. It should be called as Bombay Presidency. Madras, Bombay, and Bengal. First is Bengal, then Madras and Bombay. Okay, Bengal, Madras, 1801 under Wellesley, and then Bombay Presidency. Let us proceed further. Sir George Barlow, 1805 to 1807, Sepoy Mutiny of Vellore. Okay, Vellore Mutiny is also called 1806. 1806, Vellore Mutiny. Okay, Vellore is in what? Which place? Vellore is in Tamil Nadu, VIT, Vellore Institute of Technology. Vellore you can remember. Vellore is in Tamil Nadu. Vellore Mutiny took place in 1806 under George Barlow. Who was the Governor General of India? Not India. Who was the Governor General of Bengal? Till now we are still we are in Governor General of Bengal, not Governor General of India. Governor General of India, it is after 1833. Who was the Governor General of Bengal? Who was the Governor General of Bengal when Vellore Mutiny took place? It is George Barlow. George Barlow is the Governor General of Bengal when Vellore Mutiny took place. Vellore Mutiny in 1806. Clear? Nothing much to explain here. Lord Minto I. Okay, mission to Persia and Kabul, that is not important for us. Treaty of Amritsar with Ranjit Singh. Okay, who signed the Treaty of Amritsar with Ranjit Singh? First is Treaty of Amritsar. Again and again I am telling you, treaties we will discuss in a separate session. No need to worry. But again, I am reiterating it. Okay, so that is what? Treaty of Amritsar. It is what? It is with Ranjit Singh. Amritsar, it is the famous Sikh king is who? It is Ranjit Singh. Okay, Treaty of Amritsar was with Ranjit Singh. By whom? Under whom? Lord Minto. Lord Minto I. Okay, Lord Minto I. Under him, Treaty of Amritsar. Minto again will come in after 1909. Okay, after 1900 another Minto will come. That you don't worry. This is Minto I. Lord Minto I signed Treaty of Amritsar with Ranjit Singh. You have to remember this. Next is Francis Rawdon Hastings. this is not much important. Okay, Anglo-Nepalese War, Treaty of Sagali is important. Okay, third Anglo-Maratha War, Bombay Presidency created Rohitwari system introduced by Thomas Munro. Rohitwari system was introduced by Thomas Munro. Okay, permanent land settlement means what they did is Zamindaris went to the farmers, they collected the revenue, that is the permanent land settlement. But when it comes to Rohitwari system, directly the royals means the farmers, they gave the revenue directly. Another system is Mahalwari system. Under Mahalwari system, village was the unit of revenue collection. The village headman, that is he was called Mahal, that is Mahalwari, he collected the revenue from the people. Each village was called Mahal, the headman was called separate name. He collected the revenue from the village people, that is the farmers, and he gave to the company, that is Mahalwari system. This is what by Thomas Munro. Rohitwari system was introduced by Thomas Munro, under whom? Under Rowden Hastings. Okay, under his Governor General of Bengal, when he was the Governor General of Bengal, Rohitwari system was introduced, that is the meaning of it. Okay, and Treaty of Sagali was important, and Bombay Presidency, Madras Presidency 1801, under whom? Under Lord Wellesley. Bombay Presidency is under Hastings. Which Hastings? Rowden Hastings, Francis Rowden Hastings, not Warren Hastings. Be clear with that. Okay, Bombay Presidency, and under him only there was Rohitwari system introduced by Thomas Munro. Clear? 1820. This you have to remember. They will ask a question, match the following or anything like that. Permanent settlement, Lord Cornwallis. Rohitwari system, Thomas Munro. Mahalwari system, there is another person, I will tell you. So, this is Governor Generals of India. Till now what we learned? It is Governor General of Bengal. Till now what we learned? It is Governor General of Bengal. Now we have to learn what? We have to learn Governor General of India. So, I told you Charter Act started in 1793. So, one of the Charter Act is 1833. So, 1833 Charter Act made so many corrections in the way British ruled India, actually East India Company. Okay. So, it divided the political and administrative functions of the company. Okay, they were combined, it divided it. Okay, so they were separated or combined. This I will discuss when I talk about constitutional developments, where I will discuss elaborately about Charter Act of India. Okay, now we are discussing about what? We are discussing about Governor Generals of India. Till now what we learned? They are all Governor Generals of Bengal. Okay, now we will learn Governor Generals of India. Now, when you talk about Governor General of India, the first Governor General of India is Warren Hastings. Not Warren Hastings, sorry, that is Lord William Bentinck. Governor General of Bengal, first Governor General of Bengal is Warren Hastings. First Governor General of India is Lord William Bentinck. Okay, the Charter 1833, Governor General of Bengal become the Governor General of India. Okay, so Charter Act of 1833 changed the position of Governor General of Bengal to Governor General of India. Okay, change the position of what? Till now we were calling them as Governor General of Bengal. Okay, through Charter Act of 1833, a change was made. What was the change? The change was Governor General of Bengal was made the Governor General of India. So then, who is the first Governor General of India? That is Lord William Bentinck. Lord William Bentinck is very important because he brought lot of social religious reforms. One of the thing is he abolished Sati system along with the help of Rajaram Mohan Rai. He was a close associate of Rajaram Mohan Rai. Clear? So, Lord William Bentinck, first Governor General of India is Lord William Bentinck. Okay, so let us see some points about Lord William Bentinck. Abolition of Sati, I told you, annexation of Mysore, Coorg and Central Kachar. Okay, Mysore, Coorg and Central Kachar. So, he did some reforms, but he was what? He was still a British. So, there was the policy of annexation that he followed. Okay, that is he annexed Coorg, Mysore. Okay, there are nearby places Mysore, Coorg and Kachar. Okay, that is Central Kachar. All these places he captured, he annexed. Okay, when I talked about Constituent Assembly, I told that certain areas as commissionerate area. What are those areas? Coorg, Kachar. There are other two areas, Ajmer, Marwar, and also what? Delhi. So they were all commissionerate area. So under them, one of them is Coorg, Kachar. Okay, Macaulay's Minutes, 1835. English made official language. Okay, Lord William Bentinck, under him, there was some person called Lord Macaulay. Okay, he made some reforms in the education. Okay, that is called set of instruction on education that was given. They are called minutes. After meeting, what we give, that is called minutes of meetings. Correct? No, like that minutes on education was given by Macaulay. It is also called Macaulay's Minute. What he made, every stage of preparation, that is from lower class to higher class university level, English should be the official language. This is what was given by Macaulay's Minutes. Okay, so this was opposed by many Indians, okay, because they wanted vernacular language, that is our own language, to be preserved or to be continued. Okay, so Macaulay's Minutes was by Lord Macaulay, under whose Governor, under whom, under the Governor General of India, the first Governor General of India, that is Lord William Bentinck. Okay, Lord William Bentinck. Clear? Next thing, Charles Metcalfe to Dalhousie. Okay, Charles Metcalfe to Dalhousie. Okay, Charles Metcalfe is one Governor General of India. Similarly, Lord Dalhousie is also one Governor General of India. So, from Metcalfe to Dalhousie, what are the events that took place? Let us have a look at it. So, press law was passed under whom? Under Charles Metcalfe. First Afghan war was under Metcalfe. Okay, Sindh was annexed. Sindh was annexed under Metcalfe. First Anglo-Sikh war was under Metcalfe. Now, first Anglo-Sikh war was under Metcalfe. So, Charles Metcalfe, okay, press law, first Afghan war, Sindh was annexed. Sindh is the present day Punjab, was also called Sindh. Okay, that is Punjab. Punjab, some parts of Punjab is also called Sindh. Okay, it is divided into Punjab and also Sindh. Okay, Punjab, you know that Punjab is also, some part of Punjab is also in Pakistan. They call it as Sindh area. Got it? Now, Dalhousie, Lord Dalhousie, very important. He, like I told you, Lord Wellesley, subsidiary alliance, correct? No, Lord Wellesley, subsidiary alliance. Cornwallis permanent land settlement. Like that, Lord Dalhousie, he brought something called doctrine of lapse. Okay, but sir, there were other reforms like Punjab was annexed. Sindh is an area which is next to Punjab, not exactly Punjab, it is next to Punjab. Punjab was annexed. Punjab, there were Punjab, the area that was not, that is in India, that same Punjab, same name, it is also there in Pakistan. Punjab area is also there in Pakistan also, present day Pakistan. Okay, now Dalhousie second Anglo-Sikh war, Punjab was annexed, railways was introduced and also Woods Dispatch. Railway was introduced under Lord Dalhousie and first train was between Bombay to Thane. That time we didn't call it as Mumbai, it was called Bombay to Thane. Then Woods Dispatch. Woods Dispatch is based on what? It is on education reforms. Macaulay's Minutes told that only English should be the official language, but Woods Dispatch also included vernacular language and reforms in whatever Macaulay said, whatever the loopholes, that was corrected, and there was Woods Dispatch. Okay, Woods means it is a person's name. Woods Dispatch means he dispatched some order on education, that is called Woods Dispatch in 1854, Widow Remarriage Act in 1856. Okay, so Lord Dalhousie, under him so many reforms took place. One is Woods Dispatch, Widow Remarriage Act, and also Punjab was annexed. That is not the reform, but that is one of his annexation policy. Okay, but Lord Dalhousie introduced a system called doctrine of lapse. Okay, introduced a system called doctrine of lapse. Doctrine of lapse. Under this, a king who doesn't have a natural heir. Natural heir means if he doesn't have his own son or something, he cannot give that kingdom to anyone. That kingdom will be taken over by the British. Okay, that kingdom will be taken over by the British. If the person has a daughter, then also the daughter cannot annex that or inherit that kingdom. Only the son can inherit. That should be a natural son, not an adopted son. Okay, but even if some kingdoms, even if they had a natural heir, due to some misgovernance, quoting some misgovernance as the reason, that kingdom was annexed by Dalhousie under doctrine of lapse. So, what are those kingdoms? Let us see. Let us see. 1850, Lord Canning. Before that, I have to talk about doctrine of lapse. Under doctrine of lapse, what are the kingdoms? Jaipur, Satara, Sambalpur, Udaipur, okay, etc. Some other areas, they were all annexed. And there was another area, that is Awadh. Awadh, these were all based on doctrine of lapse. Awadh was annexed based on reason that there was under reason of misgovernance. Actually, there was no misgovernance. Okay, they quoted misgovernance and annexed what? And annexed Awadh. Very important. They have asked a question: which was the kingdom that was annexed based on misgovernance? Quoting as misgovernance, that is Awadh. Okay, that is Awadh. Okay, clear? Awadh was annexed on the basis quoting as misgovernance as the reason, that is Awadh. These are all the areas that was quoting doctrine of lapse. By applying doctrine of lapse, these kingdoms were annexed. Clear? Now let us move to Lord Canning, that is 1856 to 1862. So Lord Canning was the 1856 to 1862. But before this, the people were called as what? Governor Generals of India. Okay, before this the people were called as what? Governor Generals of India. Okay, before this the people were called as what? Governor Generals of India. Now after this one, 1857, the revolt took place. 1857, the revolt took place. So first I should explain the 1857 revolt, then only I can go ahead with this remaining things. That is, what was Lord Canning, what are the contribution of Lord Canning, what are the thing, because after 1857 revolt, see, there is something called a landmark shift in the British rule. Till 1857 we have company rule. After 1857 what we have is called crown rule. Crown rule means that is the British rule, the British rule directly by themselves, that is the British Parliament rule directly by themselves. So till here what we studied, they were called governors, then they were called Governor General of Bengal, then they were called Governor General of India. Okay. After 1857, Government of India Act 1857, what is that? That act was passed so that to suppress the revolt and also to satisfy Indians so that they don't revolt again. So under this, the Governor General of India, the post was changed to Viceroy of India. Okay, and the first Viceroy of India was Lord Canning. Okay, the first Viceroy of India was Lord Canning. Okay, the first Viceroy of India was Lord Canning. This part, that Lord Canning and afterwards, that is 1857 revolt and afterwards, that is crown rule, we will discuss in the next class, because in the next class we will be discussing 1857 revolt, then only we will proceed for remaining, that is remaining part, that is Viceroys of India. Clear? I will wind up the class now. So today we have learned what is governor, what is the governor of, who are the governors of Bengal, that is Howell Henry, Harry and also John Cartier. First was Robert Clive, that is introduced dual government. Then we started with Warren Hastings, he is the first Governor General of Bengal through Regulating Act of 1773. Under him another act was passed, that is Pitt's India Act 1784, for overcoming the loopholes in the Regulating Act of 1773, and Supreme Court was established in Calcutta. He ended diarchy, that is dual rule. So revenue administration came under the company rule itself. So after that we had so many other people, and one was Lord Cornwallis. The Cornwallis Code was very important, permanent land settlement. Okay, and Cornwallis Code is on judicial administration. Okay, and after that Lord Wellesley, all these people. Okay, Lord Wellesley. So you have to know what are the wars that are also fought. Lord Wellesley is known for subsidiary alliance. I told you a standing army will be there for the protection of the kingdom, and in turn the king has to give the revenue, but the people, the standing army, and also there will be one agent who will be there in the kingdom, but agent, as per the terms of the alliance, the agent should not involve in the internal administration of the kingdom, but more so often the agent started involving in the internal administration of the kingdom to influence the British policies. And one more clause was the king or kingdom which was under the subsidiary alliance cannot interact with other king or kingdom without the permission of the company. This was the major clause under subsidiary alliance, and the first empire that came under subsidiary alliance was Hyderabad under Nizam. Okay, Nizam of Hyderabad was the first state or empire that came under subsidiary alliance. Then we discussed other kingdoms also and other Governor Generals of Bengal, and 1883 a landmark shift took place, that is Charter Act of 1833 changed the position of Governor of Bengal to Governor General of Bengal to Governor General of India, and first person was Lord William Bentinck. Sati was abolished and so many other things took place. Okay, so under Lord Wellesley, Madras Presidency, and George Burlow there was Bombay Presidency. All these things you have to remember. Clear? So we have learned Governors of Bengal, Governor General of Bengal, Governor General of India, and what were the reforms that they took place, and Macaulay's Minutes 1835 and Wood's Dispatch under Lord Dalhousie. It took place, Wood's Dispatch, and also Lord Dalhousie Doctrine of Lapse, Jaipur, Sambalpur, Udaipur, Satara, all these kingdoms. And one important thing is Awadh was annexed under quoting the reason of misguidance, or not misguidance, sorry, it should be misgovernance. Okay, maladministration or malpractice or misgovernance was quoted as the reason, and Awadh was annexed. Clear? And after that 1857 revolt took place, Government of India Act 1857 took place, and the position of Governor General of India was changed to Viceroy of India, and first Viceroy was Lord Canning. From there we have to discuss, we will discuss in the next class. I will wind up now. Please stay tuned for Chandu Biology classes for more such quality content. We will be discussing Viceroys of India in the upcoming class, but before that we have to do what? 1857 revolt. What were the revisions for 1857 revolt? What were the aftermaths? Aftermaths means what were the, first we will learn the causes, then we will learn the effects of 1857 revolt, on Indian people and also on the British. Clear? I will wind up now. And also most importantly, in 1857 revolt, we have to know the places of revolt and who led the revolt at those places. For example, in Lucknow, who led it? In Awadh, who led it? In Bihar, who led it? Okay, for example, an old man like Kanwar Singh, he led the revolt in Bihar. All these things you have to know. Clear? What was the immediate cause of the revolt? What was the general cause? All these things you have to know. Okay, I will wind up now. Let's meet in the next class. Thank you. Take care.